Welcome back to my channel where it is sole purpose in life is to do Unity College assignments. And today we are here with redlining. There's a lot of information and it's very intricate, so I'm going to try and do this as fast as I can with the time that I have. I was asked to explain how redlining has resulted in disparate community landscapes that leaves residents of the community more vulnerable to natural disasters. Natural disaster as in heat. That is what I am going to be explaining. But first, what's redlining? When did it start and when did it end? And what happened after that? Well, according to Britannica, redlining is illegal discriminatory practice in which a mortgage lender denies loans or an insurance provider restricts services to certain areas of a community, often because of racial characteristics or of the applicant's neighborhood. Now, what does that mean? Well, pause, let's rewind. When did this start? 1930s. When did it end? 1968 because of the Fair Housing Act. The best way for me to explain redlining, it was a cancer that went untreated for a really long time. Now, how did we come up with these areas that were redlined? Well, it was the 1930s, so no shock there. It was very racist. They would go to a community and they would say whether or not it was dirty, clean, how many whites were moving out, how many blacks were moving in, how many blacks had already lived there, and they would say, oh, it's dirty, there's a lot of black people, and it's a D. And then you wouldn't be able to get a loan or insurance, or you would end up with a predatory loan and you wouldn't be able to pay your rent, your mortgage. It was gross. It's gross. Before you tell me that was so long ago, I want you to remember two things. One, I said it was a cancer that went untreated. Just because it was stopped in 1968 doesn't mean that it didn't have effects afterwards. Also, um, my if my mother were still here, she would definitely be able to tell us about this. Think about it. In 1972, 73, women were finally allowed to get credit cards. That wasn't that long ago. Sorry about that. Back to redlining. So, here we go. It because it went on for 30 plus years. The population increased, there was densification, and it created so much heat. All the heat from the sun would just beat down on the roads, and then the roads would suck it up because they're made of asphalt, and then it would just radiate from the top. And then the buildings don't allow wind flow, and if you don't have trees to create shade or, you know, these nice areas, because trees make everything cooler. Shade is great. And if you don't have any of that, it just gets hotter. And then you cook from the bottom up, which is what happened in 1995. Do we remember that? The total deaths was 521 people. And because of redlining, this cancer that went untreated, crime rose, people weren't being taken care of as they should have been, things got really nasty. Redlining's gross, and we're still paying for it. And time's up.